Hello and welcome to Roy's Rambles. I'm Roy, of course, and behind the camera is Mark. So today we've come along to St. Winifred's Well. Which is here in the background. Now, St. Winifred was a Welsh princess who was beheaded by a Welsh prince for refusing his advances, and her head rolled down the hill, and where it landed, this particular well sprang up. Now, the legend of St. Winifred, who was, as I said, a 7th century princess, is such that Prince Caradog became obsessed with St. Winifred, who was a devout virgin. And when she spurned him, he drew his sword and he cut off her head. Naturally, she dropped to the floor, and her head ended up down here in the valley where this particular spring sprang up. Her uncle, however, carried her body down here, put her head back on her body, and legend says that she healed, came back to life, and that from that point on she merely had a light coloured scar around her neck from where the decapitation took place. For centuries, people have come to this place to bathe in the waters and to get healed. And we'll go up to the well and have a look at that. So here we are at the entrance to the well. Now, there is a £2 entrance fee, and access to the well is through the shop. There's also a slight exhibition on inside, and we'll be going in there a little later just to have a look at that. But for now, we're going to go up to the well. Here we are, walking up to the well. There was a superstructure in front of the well one time, but that was sadly removed a few years back because it became unstable. Most of the well is still as it was at that time. Now, one of the first things you'll see when you come up to the well is this particular chamber, which contains statue of Mary behind some horrible perspex, and some beautiful stained glass windows. It also contains these candles and this stand. Now, I've lit a candle, and it's in remembrance of my late wife and my son Nicholas, who died as a teenager. And I do come here on their birthdays and light a candle for them, or whenever I'm in HOLYWEL. I'm lighting this candle today, and if you have somebody to remember, then I suggest you do the same. Here we are in the main well. Very beautiful it is. You can see the vaulted ceilings, the well, and here, yeah, over here to the left, you will see a statue of Saint Winifred. If you care to read it, you'll discover that the scroll was actually penned, that it was in the Diocese of Wrexham. Now, if you follow me through this particular part of the well itself, you'll come to the main place to light a candle, which is where I usually light my candle when I come over on Christmas. If you want to walk forward, Mark, and show the well. Now here to the right, you'll see the well rising up from the spot where St. Winifred's head presumably settled. And this particular natural spring actually feeds the entire valley and runs through the Greenfield Valley Nature Reserve. Who are coming along to the well to actually benefit from its healing properties. If you look to the right, you'll see the pool and the steps leading down to that pool, where many people have come and submerged, walked down the steps and submerged themselves into the pool and miraculously been cured of all kinds of ailments. As you can see today, it's a typical example of health and safety gone mad, because this is quite a beautiful place, quite a tranquil scene, only to be ruined by these galvanized steel barriers, which, by the look of them, were designed to be used to control crowds and traffic, that kind of thing. Are they appropriate in this day and age? Personally, I don't think so. When this particular structure was being built, and people scratched their names into the building and also the date. And this is a typical example of that thing happening. They weren't trying to disfigure the building, they were simply trying to leave their mark. There's also, here and there, places where people have actually scratched in that they came, took the water, came back, and said that they'd been cured of whatever their ailment was, which is nice. I think those have been removed over the years. But I'm sure if you have a look around, a good look, you'll still be able to find one or two instances of that. To my left, you can see several examples of people making the mark on this building, some of them going back to the 15th century, 14th century. A beautiful building, well worth a visit. Now I think we'll go back to the entrance and take a look at the exhibition that they have on there. For those of you who want the water, here's Mark filling a bottle with the holy water. And you can come along and bring your bottles and fill them up. Are you going to take a drink of that, Mark?
It's a lot better than Fanta.
It's a lot better than Fanta. Okay, Mark. Aye, so let's get back to where we were before. And this is Heather.
Hi.
And she's going to tell us some very interesting facts about this casket and about the well generally. So, hi, Heather. So I believe this casket was made from a single piece of oak.
That's right, yes. Yes, so 13th century. And it was used then to carry the remains of St. Winifred from just outside of Abergele, where she was buried, to Shrewsbury Cathedral. So she went to Shrewsbury Cathedral because obviously they thought it was much more fitting, and it wasn't sacred ground anymore where she was originally. So off she went to Shrewsbury Cathedral, and where she stayed until the Reformation. Unfortunately, there her remains were thrown into the river. So during
and then there was only one tiny part, the finger.
Tiny part of the finger bone was kept, and obviously that was then sent up. Well, it was sent to Rome, so they kept it, and then obviously they created two relics. So we have a relic, and Shrewsbury Cathedral have a relic as well. So those are the only two surviving relics of St. Winifred. So she. So that's sort of like I say, that's what we've got here.
Yeah. Now she was renowned for being a great beauty. Now, what truth is it to that?
She was. So she was. However, obviously she was very wealthy. She was a princess. She was the daughter of a prince, local prince, who had at least 3 properties. So obviously she would have been really, really wealthy in her own right. Maybe that, and she would be powerful. Obviously, having that land and that that wealth. This is why she was sought after by the local princes. So, which of course, that's how she ended up sort of like getting beheaded by Caradoc, who was from Howden. He was a local prince who obviously decided that he wanted that power, wanted the
land, wanted the money and the riches.
Absolutely, and so she would have been a great beauty in that respect, that she had all of that. But then obviously the fact that she devoted herself to God, she devoted herself to goodness, she devoted herself to women because she became an abbess. So she obviously, that would have made her so beautiful.
A beautiful person.
That's right, yes.
Yes. Now, in a way, it's befitting that a body ended up back in the water.
Absolutely.
When you think of the legend and you think about the
water is around her completely. I mean, this is so the bit that I missed there was that on the way to Shrewsbury Cathedral, when they were taking the remains there, they stopped overnight, and where they stopped and put the casket down, another spring sprang up. So again,
and there was I think there was up to 3 springs actually.
Absolutely.
That sprang up when she'd been moved about.
She was moved about, yes. So
now,
she's a very powerful spirit.
Yeah. Now most of our viewers will know St. Winifred from the medieval detective series Cadfael. And in Cadfael, her remains were taken to Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
Is that actually factually correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, yeah. But like I say, obviously they didn't. Well, they stayed there until after the Reformation. Once that happened and everything, then they were.
And is this the cask that went to Shrewsbury?
This is the casket that went to Shrewsbury. This is the actual casket. So yeah.
Wonderful.
I know, yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's been really nice talking to you.
Thank you.
And I've visited the well, and I've really enjoyed looking around. And I hope anybody who's actually watching this vlog will take the trouble, if they're over in North Wales, to come and have a look at St. Winifred's Well. Very interesting. Staff here are very helpful. and it's very informative. So I'll just leave it at that for now.
Thank you. Thanks.
So here we are back at the car park, and unfortunately our electric car has gone flat. The battery has gone flat. Not the small battery, the actual large battery. Now it's an hybrid car and it's self-charging, so I don't know exactly how that's happened. But the same thing happened when we were doing the original interview. The battery on the microphone went dead immediately, and we had to go back and do a second interview with Heather. And in the second interview, we left out the part about the ghostly apparitions, which can be seen in the evening, hovering around the well and disappearing into the water. Then had to ditch that footage because no sound. We've come back to the car to discover that, lo and behold, the same thing has happened to the car. Now the car's a hybrid car and it's not a year old, this car, so you know, having to phone the RAC.